Yo, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Most Low Budget Movie Reviews. I am your host, Clarence. Thank you for tuning in. In today's episode, I have a sequel I've been looking forward to since it was announced. It's called Ready or Not, Here I Come. I enjoyed the original a lot for a few different reasons. It was a new spin on playing a game to the death. She was an actual survivor. She wasn't just stupid fodder for the game. Once, she got her bearings, she did some clever things to stay alive. And finally, they paid off what would happen to the family if they lost, and it was very unexpected. I was wondering where the sequel could go, and it went the direction I thought they would go in, which was cool. So what is this one about? Now, they picked up exactly where the last one left off. She's sitting on the steps in front of the burning house as the emergency services arrive. She passes out and wakes up in a hospital, handcuffed to the bed. The police want explanations about what happened at the house, considering all the bodies and blood. Her estranged sister arrives since she's her emergency contact. They haven't spoken in years. I won't get into any of that. Meanwhile, the death of this family triggered a clause in that devil cult organization. She survived and the family died. That leaves the head seat empty, and the remaining families must compete for leadership. They have to play the same game she won, and whoever kills her gets the seat. And actually, that's where I'm going to stop. Spoiler free, but they get her and her sister to the grounds for another game with a few twists and turns to the rules. Can they survive till dawn and not only win their freedom, but something else? So what did the pros think? They came in at a 75% on 129 reviews, with the audience at 89% on over 250 ratings on the Rotten scale. But what did I think? Well, let's start with the positives. I like it when sequels pick up right where the last one left off without any kind of real recap. I mean, there is some exposition to explain what happened in the first movie, if you forgot or if you haven't seen it, but it's conversational and it makes sense the way they did it. Samara Weaving, again, is all in and gives a strong performance. Plenty of blood again. And while it is the same game with pretty much the same rules, again, I don't want to give too much away. There are a few loopholes and stakes that make things a little bit higher. The dark comedy is still present, and the ending is pretty solid. There's a new cast of characters to keep things fresh, but that's also where my negatives start. Outside a couple of characters, most of this new batch, they're not as interesting or funny as the last film. Maybe had they had something to do, like I say, I won't get too much into it, but a few of those characters that they introduced really don't have anything to do, and they don't really do anything, so it could have been better in that regard. I thought the setup with the sister was interesting, but it actually ended up being more of a hindrance to the pacing later on. There's some scenes where they are doing some things and the movie's clicking right along, and then they have to stop to do some stuff. It kind of messed things up. It's not nearly as funny or clever as the original either. I mean, it's understandable in the first one when you don't quite know what you're dealing with or what's going on. But there was way too much talking to keep things going. And what I mean by that is it doesn't make sense, actually, for either side to keep stopping and doing things when they already have the upper hand. Especially Grace. I mean, she knows who she's dealing with now. So it's not really all that believable. She would warn people multiple times before taking action or trying to force them to talk or do things. I mean, it just really didn't fit and make any kind of sense. Not just finishing them off when she had the upper hand. But I don't want to beat this one up too much. Let me bottom line this one for you. Did I enjoy it? And yes, I did enjoy it. I would put this one right at a 75% on the Rotten scale. The formula still mostly works with some new elements making it fresh. But the new setup causes it to lose steam towards the end. And some of those character choices just don't make any sense. So the original for me is still way better, especially for the surprising nature, since we don't know what's going to happen if she wins. And in this one, we kind of know what's going to happen if she wins. So if you've seen the original, I would say temper your expectations. I mean, this, like I said, it's still fun. Formula still works mostly. Still a very solid watch in theaters, but yeah, I mean, it's not as good as the original. With that being said, I'll close it out right here. If this is your first time, don't make it your last. This has been a Podbean production, mostly low-budget movie reviews with Clarence. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. Now, this week is going to be pretty hectic for me. I'm in the middle of a move right now, so I'm going to try and get another podcast done before I have to pack up all this stuff. So this coming weekend, I should say, I might not have an episode ready or might not have one up to review. But I'm going to try to get a couple things done this week and have them ready and loaded so I can put them out. And then after this weekend, I'll be back to my regularly scheduled program. So bear with me here. It might be a little gap next weekend where I might not be able to put any content out. But hopefully I'll be able to put out some content this week, or maybe I'll just record some stuff and have time to edit it once I'm able to get it done. But anyway, we'll figure all of that out. Thank you once again. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you next time. Peace.